Now, as far as all the other insurance company it really does depend. Most of them will allow you to accept assignment of benefits. So that's one of the questions you need to ask as you're resigning. Get a supervisor on the phone and ask the question. Once you have to, when you resign, let's just pick a random insurance company, MetLife. Once you resign from MetLife, you'll send a resignation letter in, and then there'll be a grace period, a notice period that has to happen. You have to give an advance notice before you're officially out of network. And in most cases, that's a 60 or 90-day notice period, most often 90. So hypothetically, let's say that you resign from MetLife on May 1st. That means that you have to stay. That means starting on May 1st, you will no longer be listed as a provider on their website, on the MetLife website. They'll delist you right there. And they love to kick you right in the knees right there, because if you've gotten a lot of patients historically because they've gone to the MetLife website and now you're not getting any, they think that many dentists will change their mind about going out of network. That shouldn't impact you, by the way. But now that means, so starting May 1st, you won't get any new patients from MetLife because they won't be on the website. You'll be delisted, but you have to stay in network for your existing patients. And 90 days essentially is May, June, July. August 1st, you'll be out of network. But while you make that call about resigning, speak to a supervisor and ask, once I'm out of network effective August 1st, can I still accept assignment of benefits from MetLife? And they have to give you that answer. And if the answer is yes, then my recommendation would be to absolutely check that box of accepting assignment of benefits and make it a little bit easier for your patients. So it really does depend. I wish it was completely black and white. There's a lot of gray here. Delta does not allow you to accept assignment of benefits for your in-state Delta, but for the stray patients you have that are out-of-state Delta, usually they do. Most other PPO plans do allow you to accept assignment of benefits. And if they do, then by all means, check that box and make it a little bit easier on your patients. So that the answer isn't as straightforward as yes or no. We titled this one, should I accept assignment of benefits once we are out of network? It's not as easy as an answer, a yes or no answer. It is, my answer would be, if they allow you to, yes, absolutely, because it does make it a little bit easier on the patient. What are your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, I agree, Gary. I think you want to be patient friendly. So just because, from a business perspective, it doesn't make any sense for you to be part of network and you make that choice to go out of network, you still want to make it as easy as possible for patients, right? You don't want to say, well, I made this choice, now you need to change how you do things. So make it easy. If assignment is benefit is what they prefer, then hey, do it.
There are some consultants, I'll leave them nameless, although we could play charades and guess and their names. No, we won't do that. There are some consultants that will tell you that when you choose to resign from your PPO plans, you should just wash your hands just of all insurance involvement and then hand your patient a claim form, when they check out and say, if you want to get your benefits, then you file your own claim form. I could not disagree with that approach more. I think it's a very arrogant approach. I think it's very impractical. Darren, the truth is, you or I could file an insurance claim.
Right.
Anybody in dentistry could probably you'd probably Google it and file an insurance claim, right? But to the public, that's a foreign process. That's a crazy process. And they wouldn't know how to do it. But I disagree with that. In fact, one of the reasons why I think we have so much success at Thriving Dentists is because we take a patient-friendly approach. We let patients know we're going to still file your claims like we always have. We're going to be on your side to help you get every dollar of benefit you have. You can still choose our practice as your dental office. Even once we're out of network, you can choose our practice. And whatever benefits you have, you can use them right here in our practice. And by being friendly that way, that allows you to retain more patients. Now, do we still have some insurance involvement in terms of the administration of the practice? Yeah, we do. We file claims. And we follow up on behalf of our patients. I personally think that's good customer service. And we certainly have the capability of doing it. It's a fraction of the workload of what it used to be when you were in network. It's a fraction. So if you're thinking about, does that change my staffing requirements? No, you're still going to have an insurance coordinator in your practice, but it's going to be a fraction of the workload of what it used to be. And you can take that person who's your insurance coordinator and put that individual into more useful pursuits in your practice, more useful projects in your practice than just hassling with the insurance company. So you're still going to have a little bit of insurance processing and a little bit of admin related to that, but it's a fraction of what it is now if you're a network. Well, this has been a fun question. I wanted to answer that one because I get that a lot. And now, as a listener to the Less Insurance Dependence podcast, here we are at the time of, the time of publication. If I have this right, Naren, this is coming out in early May.
Correct.
Do I have that right date?
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming out in early May. So we'll have been January, February, March, April, 4 months through, 1/3 of the year. By the time you listen to this, 1/3 of the year will be completed. Let me give you some optimism. If you're willing to do the work to successfully resign from PPO plans, any of our listeners could be out of network by the time the ball drops in Times Square on December 31st, 2024. Now, that would be aggressive. Let's recognize that. That would be aggressive. That would be hitting the accelerator. And by the way, we could go slower if you like. If you feel like there might be some reasons just to dot the I and cross the T and just triple check everything, we could go a little bit slower. But you could be completely out of network by the end of the year. If that's something that's of interest to you, let me invite you to schedule a coaching strategy meeting. Go to thrivingdentist.com/CSM, stands for coaching strategy meeting. It opens up my schedule. That will give you a Zoom call with me. We schedule about an hour for that. And the purpose of that call is for me to get to know you and your practice, and for you to get to know about our coaching and determine if that might be a good fit. So if that's of interest to you, if you get excited about the idea of closing this year out by successfully resigning from PPO plans, let me invite you to do that. And as I said, that'd be an aggressive timeline. Maybe a more conservative timeline would be to move it forward a quarter, 3 months of 2025, and say we'll be completely out of network by the end of March 2025. If either of those is of interest to you, get on my schedule and schedule a coaching strategy meeting. Well, as we wrap up today, thank you. Naren, I want to thank you and your team members at Equa for all that you guys do. If you haven't already scheduled a marketing strategy meeting, replacing the PPO plans with another form of marketing is another piece of the puzzle. If you haven't already scheduled a marketing strategy meeting, go ahead and schedule that. Naren's been kind enough to offer that to any of our listeners at no cost. Naren, what's the URL you'd like our listeners to use to schedule a marketing strategy meeting?
Yes, it's ekwa.com/LID for less insurance dependence. ekwa.com/LID.
If you haven't already done that, let me encourage you. I've got a couple of homework assignments. If you desire, schedule a marketing or coaching strategy meeting with me. And if you haven't already done so, schedule a marketing strategy meeting with Naren and his team. On that note, I want to thank you all for the privilege of your time today. And Naren and I look forward to connecting with you on the next Less Insurance Dependence podcast.